Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 55 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Today, I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one, we're going to talk about and start setting our strategy, our action strategy, and our action plans for the goals that we want to accomplish with respect to our emotional well-being. So I set up a little grid for each. Our action item today is going to be for each goal that we've picked. We want to have at least 3 actions, and the really bigger actions, more like strategies, is that we want to go after in order to achieve our goals in the area of our emotional well-being. So I guess I haven't done this yet for mine. I set goals about increasing love in my life, reducing negative talk and negative approaches to anything and everything, because like all of us, we are inundated with negative messages all the time, and it seeps into our lives. Even if we consciously try to prevent it from happening, on a subconscious level, it's happening all the time. We are surrounded with people, media, social media, everything that focuses on the negative, lack, scarcity, the things that we don't want in our life, and it's up to us to combat that. So that's another one of my emotional goal areas. And the other one is, I cannot see it, but what we're going to do then is we're going to take each of those goals and break them down into what strategies and action strategies, because we have to do something if we want to achieve our goals and objectives. What are we going to break those down into? We want 3 big pieces for each one, and then we will continue to break that down tomorrow into tinier and tinier pieces so that we can create things that help us to automatically achieve the emotional level of well-being that we want in our lives. Now, along that topic, I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's something I learned about following my sudden cardiac arrest. I had a sudden cardiac arrest in 2010, and I started to try to figure out what the heck had happened to me and why this had happened to me. And I began listening to, back then it was audio broadcasts. It wasn't video back in 2011. After my cardiac arrest, I started listening to a series by Darius Barazante. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's still online today, because I get emails from him periodically when I check my email. But I learned about a lot of different teachers and a lot of different modalities and ways of healing. But one of them was by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Bradley Nelson. And he had created what's now called, I believe, the emotion code. But he talked about heart walls in the teleseminar that he did with Darius. And I ended up buying his product, taking one of his courses, because I realized that part of what had happened to me was causing me to form this heart wall, a wall around my heart. We create these shields of protection and walls around our heart, not on purpose, but on purpose to protect ourselves. And there's really interesting exercises in his book, The Emotion Code, that help us to clear trapped emotions. One of the best resources I found for clearing trapped emotions is in his book, because we can clear our own trapped emotions, right? And really, a heart wall is a supercharged trapped emotion. It's a wall we build around our heart to protect ourselves from trauma, from hurt, from broken heart. And literally, I had a sudden cardiac arrest, which is also known as broken heart syndrome. So of course, I formed a heart wall following that, and I wanted to find ways to remove that heart wall. Well, although a heart wall protects us, it can also prevent us from forming deep relationships, from being involved in our relationships with other people. And I didn't want that, because I have kids and grandkids, and I wanted to make sure my heart was open and there wasn't a wall around it in order to have bonds and great relationships with them. So I did a bunch of his exercises, and really it's a lot of energy releasing type exercises, which I had never known anything about or thought about in my life. You know, being an engineer, I consider myself pretty scientific and rational when it comes to all things. And it wasn't until after that cardiac arrest that I started to explore other possibilities in life, right? And one of those was a heart wall. So I highly recommend, if you feel like this is the thing that you're experiencing in any way, shape, or form in your life, especially with respect to your emotional well-being, it's worth, Googling. His books are available on Amazon, and I Googled, and there's actually a lot of other books now on energy clearing, emotional clearing, dealing with emotions and trapped emotions, I'm sure other people have written about and experienced and shared their experiences with the heart wall. And if you want to know more about mine, you can ask. I did a lot of fun visualization exercises and asked myself a bunch of different questions. You do muscle testing. I never knew about muscle testing before. And your subconscious, through muscle testing and other other techniques, energy understanding techniques, you can get the answer of not what your head is telling you, but what your subconscious is actually doing by using muscle testing and things. And I did that. It was kind of scary and kind of weird at first, but then I realized that I was getting really good results by doing it, so I did it. And every once in a while, I will tap back into and do muscle testing on myself, because it tells me what's blocking me in certain areas and aspects of my life. And everybody else, I ebb and flow. Sometimes things flow nicely for me. Other times I put roadblocks in my own way that prevent me from creating what it is that I want in different areas and aspects of my life. So today, think about it. Do you have a heart wall? Do you think you have a heart wall? There's no way to prevent a heart wall from forming. They form on a subconscious level to protect us. Just like emotions get trapped in us that we don't realize until something else gets our attention. So for example, if you have an illness, you can usually trace that. I found that itself from Louise Hay, as well as Dr. Bradley Nelson and other energy healers and experts. You can find out, based on what your ailment is, what emotion might be trapped in your body somewhere. All kinds of interesting things that if you're interested in it, then you explore it. If you're not, you're just like, okay, well, that was interesting. Someday if I ever need it, I might go look that up. All right, so what are we going to do today? Action items to help us achieve our emotional well-being goals this year. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. And I think I'm going to actually do some more clearing. I might add some heart wall exercises and some trapped emotion energy clearing exercises to my action steps for my emotional well-being and to improve the different areas and aspects of my life. Have a fantastic day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.